Alright boys, welcome back. So Black Asta is now officially out. I've played with him for a bit and this guy is insane. So today we're going to go over how to get a character, and this video, out of all the ones I've done so far, is by far the most important because this guy is much different, or at least to the point that you have to give him up completely different to any other characters so far in the game. Alright, so let's start off with the first thing, and that is the skill page. The skill page is obviously by far the most important thing about Asta, and it's for two main reasons. One, he's going to get a big damage increase. Obviously, when he does get it, he's going to get, if anti-magic, he's going to get more actual increased damage per 1.5k. So if you look at my defense right now, it's, what, 21k? And like I get like a 19 bar if you run out of 20, you get like a 200% damage increase, which is, yeah, you can see a massive difference. I'll show you a clip right now of me using Black Acid AoE in his actual anti-magic form without having the skill page on, and it doesn't do enough to kill. With this, it does actually do enough to kill, which is why it's so important. But by far, another important thing is that it adds the total defense buff for 2 turns, which is, we'll go through it in a second, but that is very important. Generally, this guy, he can be usable a little bit, but there are just better characters you really want to get a skill page. However, if you don't have a skill page, this on screen now is a team I recommend using. You can still use him as a taunt character. You can taunt, you know, Julius's, you can taunt Noel's to stop the other Noel's from putting a shield on, but also to stop the Julius from ulting your actual Noel so she don't get stunned and she can do most of the work. Black Asta is an actual support character that can do a lot of DPS. So you do have to realize, yes, most of the time, this guy shouldn't be doing most of the DPS unless we get Witch Queen in the future. Then he might be a main DPS. I would recommend using Dupes to level it up. If you really like Black Asta and you plan to use him for the future, I really recommend it. Once again, he's a festival character. They rarely return. So far, at least when Meridiana comes out, Black Asta isn't likely to return. And who knows when they're going to return again. I'd say dupe it out unless you really want to use Meridiana, but that's only if you want to invest into Black Asta. In terms of skills, what do you need to level up? Honestly, I would say more importantly, obviously the AoE skill. That's like your big AoE wipe when you do anti-magic. This, most of the time when you're in anti-magic, is going to kill. You don't have to worry too much about it. But still, once again, if you're going to be using a character, you should level them up anyway. They only increase the damage. Duplicates. I don't think it matters to the same extent like Julius, for example. Although you probably want to do it because why not, right? Depending on what team you're using. This skill, when you do get him towards 5-star, is going to get the status immunity, which means you can't get stunned at the start of the game, which is very good if you're using like a slow team, for example. But on screen now, this is my favorite team to use right now, which is the Finral red team, which typically you get to go first every single time. So the status immunity doesn't really help too much unless you're finding and purposely going against people that are using Mars with a 5-star William. But it's definitely helpful. But once again, getting 2 stars is definitely helpful because taunting when you do anti-magic can be good, because I've noticed a few times now where when I've used him, they kill my whole team when he's in anti-magic, which is kind of annoying because if my whole team's dead, Asta can't really rely on him being a big DPS if you don't really wail on him. So I recommend getting 2 star if you plan to use him. If you really want to take the 5-star, then I'll go for it. But I've not found the status immunity so far so useful in PP just because I typically outspeed everyone so far. But that's on my current team. I think in the future, when we have different people, and you're not using a full mono red team with Uno and Finral, for example, then yeah, you might want to level this up. But for now, I think 2 stars fine. All right, so gear. Let's go through it. So this one is completely different than any other character in a way because you want to actually use the defensive pieces rather than using the attack and magic one. Since this guy actually can see it by the actual skill page, he is going to get a lot more damage increase depending on his actual, defense. So you want to scale him off defense, of course. So of course, all the rectangle pieces are going to be all defense, and of course for most of the substats when I can, because I did reroll them, I made sure if I possibly can have the defense with the actual percentage and also the actual increase here. You can see all of them. Half of this one because it's really good. Just all defense because why not? You can still go for attack, obviously, because attack is still fine. He still does damage based on attack. It's just he's going to get more damage dealt based on his defense. But for the square pieces, we want to go obviously attack here. And the set we've gone for is obviously attack. He's still a DPS at the end of the day. You still want to do damage. Of course, the defense, because he is obviously a tank character, you want to make sure you have obviously as much defense as possible. So getting that 4% defense is going to be massive. You can see Asta's speed's not the fastest. he does get outsped by Julius and also Noel. So for me personally, when I use him on the mono red team, when I bring Finral, although Finral might be able to push him over without actually bringing the speed set, this is just, I got really good rolls in it, so going towards obviously this one, or maybe a bit more crit chance, because he's got a naturally high crit chance. And then for accessories, I mean, you can't really choose, right? You kind of have to use what you have, but yeah, anything with obviously defense one, the middle one's by far the most important one. I got very lucky and got this to LR straight away, so we did get obviously a 33% increase in obviously our defense. That one is huge. Talents are by far the most important thing when it comes towards Asta, because his whole playstyle rolls on his skill page. Once again, like I said already, if you have his skill page where his tier 2 does apply to total defense, if you don't know how total defense works, is you're basically guaranteed to block. So because you're guaranteed blocks, what you want to put on for your supporters category is the resolution, because you're going to get debuff immunity upon resisting damage successfully. And you want to make sure if whatever team you're using them on, for example, right now I'm using the well, of course. So yeah, it is very important that whatever character you're using Black Asta with, if you do have him with his skill page, you want to make sure you have the resolution on everyone, because everyone is going to successfully block one attack, and that means you can get debuff immunity. And yeah, this just makes going against these teams, for example, a little bit easier, because the actual Lotus and Mars combo, the speed lower, you know, all this stuff they do, generally it just isn't going to work, because you're going to successfully just block damage and you have debuff immunity, and it literally cannot apply. So this is kind of why Mars falls off a lot in the JP meta, because everyone just blocking with Black Asta. It's yeah, insane. You want to make sure if you're using Black Asta with his skill page, put this on, it's going to do wonders. And other than that, HP received, you don't really care unless you're using healer, so if anything, you go towards accuracy and also penetration. I mean, this one's self-explanatory. The guy scales off defense, so of course the defense one, and of course more defense per turn. For me, attack on this one, and of course the damage dealt one. You could maybe do this one if you have like crit chance high enough. But for me, I always like to do raw damage. I never like to rely on crits. So yeah, the damage dealt and obviously attack. You could get the way like more crit chance here with the normal attack, but I do prefer the damage dealt. But then again, you have enough of it, so maybe getting more crit chance is maybe better. But so far, I'm okay with obviously the damage dealt. And then obviously for the actual, you know, carvestone slots, because you want to obviously do it. Defense, important for obviously Black Asta. If you are planning to buy like the actual like 2,000 pack with actual, you know, pay currency, get the you know, the premium one of this one. Give him defense. That is going to make him do a lot more. I think it will go to 1.5, so you're getting another, like, what, 20% damage dealt there. It's, yeah, huge. I got him HP. He hit a tank. I don't really have too many speed other ones, but I don't think he needs the speed set. I'd rather just give him more HP. But then again, I did get critted once by the Julius. If I had actual more crits, I might have done that. But for now, HP. And yeah, this goes without saying, attack and magic. Alright, so teams to use with Asta. This one I generally really like. It's by far my funnest team to use. Obviously, I didn't realize everyone may not have, you know, but generally it's really fun. Once again, Asta is more of a support character, right? He is giving us the status immunity if we ever go against the William and Mars combos turn 1. We can also obviously get the total defense and giving our whole team immunity or debuff immunity. It just makes it so the world can just like not have to worry about anything. She can't be debuffed, she can't be stunned for 1 turn, and obviously, you know, with the speed buff, like it's so good. It's insane. If you're not using mono red, then of course Julius is going to be a natural good partner, because he's still a good support character. It's insane DPS as well. Just reset stamina, stunning other Black Astas, killing other Black Astas is going to be obviously the way. Noel is another really good character to stop other Juliuses and just be another taunt character, magic lower, damage lower. Going to be really well at Asta, I think, because you can actually lower or disarm the Julius and also make it so turn 1 they don't do enough damage. And with the Asta block, you can tank quite a bit to where the Julius might not be able to one-shot and might get him below 5%. And in the third slot, I'm not entirely too sure. I feel like you can just go towards, obviously, you know, William. If I had William max dupe, William will be the fastest speed in the game. And you actually could use William's combined attack with Black Asta, which will actually stun. So, yeah, unless William is max dupe, I probably wouldn't use him. But if he is, then I would. Because, yeah, getting that guarantee, this would probably be the team I would use. If I had, yeah, you know what, I'd probably use in the future, test it out. But this is probably the team I would use personally if I wasn't using, like, Noel, for example. But other than that, you can't go wrong with Charlotte if you built her up as well. Even the red Charlotte, once again, another really good support character, just getting more turns. And once again, if they still have that marked effect on when after anti-magic, then he's probably going to just get so many free turns and just, once again, just kill everyone and just recycle ultimates. It's insane. Maybe throw in Finro again just to get more speed, because Asta isn't got the fastest speed. And obviously you can provide more attack and damage though, and obviously crit damage too. So yeah, that will be my teams once again. My go-to team right now is this team. It's so fun. Although Asta's not the main DPS, he still provides so much support for the team. Or I can just wait for the witch queen, and this team will be even better. So boys, thank you for watching today's video. Let me know how you lot are gearing your Asta. Are you going towards the attack, defense, and speed set? I feel like you can probably easily... I have to test it, but because I got really good, you know, substats on these ones, I kind of want to keep them. But I do feel like the penetration set or even the crit damage set might be a bit better, just depending on your substats. But for most people, I feel like this should be the most reliable one, especially considering you can farm all of these in just you know, the red dungeon stage. But yeah, boys, thank you for watching the video. Let me know what team you lot are using with Black Asta, because I do want to try some. Once again, this guy, Max Dube, when you level him up, can just go into any team, really. He's just another support character. Like I said, if you do that tech where you actually apply the total defense with the talent one where you have resolution on, it's just a really good support character. So yeah, I'll see you lot in the next video. Peace.